On August 15th, 2021, an accident caused Cedar Point's famous Top Thrill dragster to close, and now the famous coaster is being reimagined for the 2024 season. What could Cedar Point be planning for this next coaster? And will it break any records? In this video, I will be discussing my predictions for what I think Cedar Point is planning for this new coaster. Just a quick disclaimer before going into this video was recorded Friday, July 21st, so while there may have been some teasers released after that, the script was made before all that, so some stuff won't be included in this video. Just wanted to point that out before I get into it. Number 1, the theme. It's pretty obvious that Cedar Point is hinting towards a racing theme, but not like two coasters dueling next to each other, but more of a speed theme. I think that the new Top Thrill dragster theme will be about speed. Also, from the construction that they have done so far, the colors look to be white and gray, with white track and gray support columns. Number 2, the manufacturer. Most people believe that the new manufacturer for the Top Thrill dragster will be Zamperla. While I do think that that is a very good possibility, I'm just not sure. Coming from a company that doesn't like to give their secrets away, I just don't think they would place a box with Zamperla written on it in big bold letters right there facing where everybody can see. I feel like Cedar Point knew that people would come by that empty lot and check for stuff like that. But I could be completely wrong. I say this even though there are Zamperla boxes with stuff sitting for a new roller coaster just right there. So while I'm probably totally wrong, it just seems to me like it's almost too obvious. But if it is Zamperla, I'd imagine that they use their new lightning trains, as those would be a very good fit for dragster. I don't think there's any way the lightning trains will be any more free than the old dragster restraints, or any way the launch will be as strong, but I still feel like this will be a very fun and intense ride. So honestly, I can see dragster going either way, where everyone else is right saying that it is Zamperla and I look like an idiot saying that it's not. Or I could be right and the community has just been completely trolled by Cedar Point. But I think the chances of it being Zamperla are more likely. But I think there is a small chance it will be somebody else. So I'm going to say 55% leaning towards Zamperla and 45% leaning towards somebody else. Number 3, the spike. It is commonly believed by the coaster community that the new dragster will include a vertical spike, and I'm with him on this one. Massive footers were installed exactly where a spike would be, and huge support columns can be seen in the Breakers Express Hotel lot. I believe that there will be a switch track that puts riders into a swing launch. In case you don't know, a swing launch is when a train goes over a launch more than once as it builds up speed. Take Pantheon, for example, at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. A swing launch would definitely be the most reasonable prediction, especially if there's going to be a vertical spike. Number 4, the height. Probably the biggest question in the coaster community is how tall will the new dragster be? Well, in some of Cedar Point's tweets, the hashtag CP24PHP can be seen. And according to El Toro Orion, this stands for Cedar Point 2024 Project High Point, which in my mind makes complete sense. But how tall will it actually be? Well, in one of Cedar Point's most recent tweets, it says get revved up, but with 3 V's in revved. The community has been wondering what the 3 V's could mean. Some thinking that it is just Roman numerals, and others thinking that the 3 V's could represent 3 launches. And for this one, I'm just not sure. I do think that it will have 3 launches, but I also do think that it could mean Roman numerals. In Roman numerals, V means 5, so 3 5s would be 555 feet. But I do not think that the new dragster will even come close to 555 feet. I think that even if they were to break 500 feet, which I still think is very unlikely, it will only be a few feet above 500, like 500 to 520 feet. Another thing I think it could mean is that since there are 3 V's and V is equal to 5 and 5 times 3 is 15, that could mean that it will be 15 feet taller than the current record, which is Kingda Ka at 456 feet, or 15 feet taller than the current dragster height of 420 feet. So for how tall this coaster will be, I'm just not sure, because this is coming from the park that opened Magnum XL, the first hypercoaster, Millennium Force, the first Giga Coaster, and the old dragster, which is the first Stratocoaster. So could they do it again and open the first coaster above 500 feet? I could totally see Cedar Point doing this, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they go just a few feet taller than Kingda Ka to reclaim their record. There are so many possibilities of what the new dragster could become, and I'm really looking forward to August 1st, which is when they will announce their plans for this coaster. Number 5, the record breaking. Coming from a company that is known for breaking records, I will not be surprised if they go for it again and try to get the height record. But if they do this, will they go for the first 500-foot coaster, or will they top Kingda Ka by just a few feet? Either way, if there is a spike, I'd imagine Cedar Point will market it as the fastest backward speed on roller coaster, tallest vertical spike, or something like that. Unless it breaks the height record, then it'll just be tallest roller coaster on Earth. I would imagine that no matter how high, 400 or even 500 feet, a huge spike plus a top hat would look amazing in the park skyline. And with the new gray and white colors, I'd imagine it'll have a very amazing light package at night too. But back to the records, I think that it is pretty certain that the new dragster will at least break some records. But will Cedar Point go for the big burrito and try to get the height record? This sounds like a Cedar Point move to me, but it will be very tough to pull off. So I'd give it 50-50 chance if they try to break the height record, but I'll give it a 99% chance that they go and break some other record and market it as whatever record they broke. Number 6, my final prediction. I think that dragster will launch forward into the top hat and go around halfway up before going backwards into the tallest vertical spike, before going back up into the top hat and over. I think that the ride will reach a top speed of 123 miles an hour. I think this because on their announcement poster, you can easily see that it makes a 1, 2, 3 on the date. I think this could be hinting towards how fast they intend this coaster to go, but I could be wrong, and all they were trying to say was the date when the plans were coming out, and I'm just going overboard on the possibilities. So, what do you think Cedar Point has in store for the new dragster? I would love to hear about what you think will happen in the future down in the comments below. But anyways, when the new dragster does come out, I'll probably go back at this video, admire how bad the thumbnail is, and then laugh at how bad my predictions were. But anyways, that's all I have today for you guys, and I guess I'll just see you next time. Peace!